We acknowledge President Barrow's national address on Wednesday, which came in the wake of the Republic's investigative report and the nationwide protest that follows. The President responded to the pressure and chose to speak to the country on this grave matter. However, Gambians Against Looted Assets have reviewed President Adama Barrow's national address on the disposal of assets seized from former President Yahya Jammeh. Whilst we acknowledge his public engagement and the convening of an emergency cabinet meeting, the President's remarks fall far short of the decisive and transparent action demanded by the Gambian people. It is deeply alarming that President Barrow admitted to learn for the first time about some of these asset sales, some of which reportedly occurred during the GALA Commission's proceedings. These admissions raise serious concerns about leadership, oversight, and the competence and compliance of the very task force he established to manage these national assets. These transactions were carried out in the name of the people. The fact that they may have been sold off in secret at questionable prices and without the President's full knowledge points to potential cover-ups and a failure of governance. This undermines not only public trust, but the very foundation of the new Gambia. GALA note the President's reference to the National Assembly and the National Audit Office, but these bodies have their limitations and timelines. Given the urgency and the gravity of these revelations, many of which were outlined in our public petition and further corroborated by the investigative report, the assets of the Gambia's former dictator go for a song, we demand immediate and bold executive actions. GALA's demands are clear and uncompromising. First, full transparency. Publish detailed report or record of all recovered assets, sale proceedings, buyers' identities, and the amount paid. The public is entitled to know how their resources are being handled. Independent investigations. Establish a separate, impartial investigative body with full legal authority and a restricted timeline to prompt into the sales and management of these assets. This body must be free from political interference and empowered to compel testimonies and access all relevant documentations. Accountability for all involved. Anyone, regardless of rank and political affiliation, found to have engaged in corruption, negligence, and mismanagement must face legal consequences. Gambians will not accept scapegoats whilst those truly responsible remain untouched. Concrete presidential action plan. The President's speech lacked clarity, time-bound roadmap for justice and reforms. We urge him to urgently present such a plan to the nation, outlining how his government will rectify this scandal and prevent future abuse of public trust. This is a defining moment for President Adama Barrow and for our democracy. The people of the Gambia will not profit by speeches. We demand swift, transparent, and uncompromising action. Looting of our national assets in the name of justice is a betrayal that cannot be ignored. On the National Assembly extraordinary sitting, GALA will have preferred an independent NAM who is not part of the ruling party to head the committee. We cannot be both a player at the same time a referee in the same game. Such an arrangement lacks an impartiality and credibility required to get to the heart of the scandal. The Gambian people deserve more than a political charity dressed up as an oversight. We know the selection committee have been made already. Though we are unhappy with this leadership, we will let them do their job whilst we watch them closely. Finally, we reject and condemn the legal arrest of our members by the Gambia Police Force in the last weekend and protest. Peaceful protest is a constitutional right, not a crime. Targeting citizens who are standing up for transparency and justice is a blatant abuse of power. We call on the police to remember that their duty is as custodians of the law, not tools of intimidation, and not to act in service of people, not political interests. Such actions only strengthen our resolve and expose the very root we are fighting to uproot. Equally, we have learned about state ministers issuing threats to citizens for participating in a peaceful and lawful protest. We call on the ministers to withdraw and apologize, as we will not be intimidated by anyone. Finally, to every Gambian, home and abroad, we express our deepest gratitude. Thank you for standing by the truth, standing by GALA, and then for helping ensure our collective voices are not gone unheard. Some of our demands have already begun to gain traction, and this momentum must not stop. We urge all citizens to remain vigilant, vocal, and unfailing fighting for accountability. The youth are the future of this country. It's not enough to hope for change. We must be the change. We cannot remain passive whilst a few explore our national wealth for their own benefit. GALA stand firm and call on all Gambians to do the same. Together we will ensure that justice is not just spoken but served. GALA will continue to mobilize, expose, and hold accountable all those who seek to profit from our injustice. We all call on all Gambians to remain engaged, informed, and united in the pursuit of accountability and protection of our national wealth. Signed, Omar Saibo Kamara, spokesperson, Gambia Against Looted Assets.